Bandland Records presents, live from the Beamsville International Hotel and Ballroom. You're in the lounge, and now here's your host, Frank. Hey guys, how's it going? You know what? I've got a special treat for you today, and it took me completely by surprise. Mr. Katsopoulos is here to tell us what 3 CDs he has in his car. Mr. Katsopoulos, come here. Tell the listening audience what 3 CDs are in your car right now. Yeah, the 3 CDs in my car. I have Why You Dress Like a Bum, Why You No Get Haircut, and I have one other. Let me think. Why You Dress Like Bum, Why You No Get Haircut, Why You Make So Much Noise. They're all by a band. They're called Punks That Live in Their Mom's Basement. Funny, I've never heard of that band. Okay, thank you for coming by. Okay, well, here's the thing. I've decided to do this week's show naked. No. You people have some real issues, you know that. Besides, I don't think I would have been able to get any guests. Well, that is guests that I wasn't afraid of having on the show. Actually, I was hoping to have my neighbor come on the show. He's a mime. Unfortunately, we're not talking right now. Okay. Now here's something. I was down at the music store the other day. I needed to get some strings and some cables and stuff. And it's like being a kid in a candy store. I go in there and I make this mental shopping list. In case I'm ever famous one day and have tons of money and stuff that I can spend on this stuff. But dare to dream. And that's the thing about fame, though. Fame has levels. There are levels of fame. There's that notoriety in life, thing, that say, you appeared in a movie or had a hit album or a hit single or you had your own television show or something, and you whatever, wrote a great book. People, all of a sudden, people know your name. You're a little bit more well-to-do maybe than you were before and stuff like that. Now, on the other hand, if you made the papers and you're now doing 20, not so much the fame you want to have. Okay. But you know what I'm trying to do, though, is I'm struggling here to define myself, as I move forward doing what I'm doing here, is I'm trying to figure out, do I consider myself to be an artist or a personality? I like to think of myself as an artist with personality. There are some of you out there that may say, I beg to differ, but I didn't ask you. Well, you know what? We're here today, this week, in the lounge. I'm looking around. We're into September now. Kids are all back at school. And you know what? I would have thought there'd be more traffic on the streets during the summer when all the kids are off, people are going places and, holidays and stuff. You know what? It's crazy. I went out Tuesday and I went down to St. Catharines, which is a city close to where I live. Sort of like a mid-sized city. Couple 100,000 people or whatever they have now. Um, and the streets were absolutely nuts. It's like I got off the highway and it's like you can't move. And it's like, where are all you people going? It was the middle of the afternoon. It's like the kids are in school. It's not like it's the commute home, with the school buses and stuff, and they've got everybody tied up. And it's not like it's like 5 o'clock and people are going home from work. This was like 1:15, and the streets were packed. And I have to admit, I'm not the most patient driver. Yes, it's true. I drive around with the attitude that I'm right and everyone else is stupid. But I'm sure we all have a little bit of that in us. So, don't look down on me. I can't help it. It's okay. But anyway, I do kind of dig this gig. I'm thinking of myself as an entertainer, or at least slightly amusing, and in fact, for a limited time, if you go to from the lounge on Facebook page and give it a like, you'll receive, and only for this limited time, absolute peace of mind, knowing that you did the right thing. And if you really like the show, tell all your friends to listen. I can be slightly amusing, and on a larger scale if I need to be. So why don't we take a quick word from our sponsors, and I'll be right back.
Hello, people. This is Kenny the Insane, and you're in the lounge.
Welcome back. You're in the lounge, and I'm Frank, and you guys are hopefully having a good time sitting here listening to me. Okay, on a serious note, 3 CDs that I have in my car this week. I've been listening to the New York Dolls, Dancing Backwards in High Heels. Howling Wolf, the London Howling Wolf sessions, which include some pretty lofty guests, including Eric Clapton, Bill Wyman, Charlie Watt, to name a few. I think there's a couple other people on that slip my mind right now. Moody Blues, Legend of a Band, of course, their greatest hits. Moody Blues, one of my personal all-time favorite bands. So anyway, I just also wanted to mention, I think I'd mentioned on a previous show about guests appearing on the lounge, having original material to showcase. Well, I wasn't completely correct about that. Now, if you're interested in guesting on the lounge, you're an independent artist or an aspiring vocalist or something, say you don't write your own material, you can come on the lounge and play cover tunes. Just got to make sure that we're giving the original artist full credit, because we don't want to step on any toes, and we certainly don't want to mislead the listening audience into taking credit for something that doesn't belong to us. So yes, if you're interested in participating on the lounge, whether you're an aspiring songwriter or someone who likes to play songs, someone who likes to sing songs, then yes, contact me here, Frank Wood, at bandlandrecords.net, and we'll work something out. Okay, now let's see, what else is going on? We got, I don't have a guest in studio this week. I will be playing a couple of tracks by some artists that you've already heard on the lounge. Maybe you haven't, a little later in the show, but I thought I had a couple of people that I had lined up I was going to work with this week, but due to technical difficulties on their parts and having material ready to go, the timetables just didn't seem to mesh for us. So unfortunately, you'll get to hear those artists at a later date, and keep following the show because I'll let you in on a little secret. I have some pretty fantastic artists coming up. And I wouldn't want you guys to miss it. and then you'd be sad, and you know. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the opportunity to tell you a little bit about myself, because I am an aspiring songwriter myself, as well as doing this gig here on the lounge. I spend my spare time in front of the microphone with my guitar, my pen and paper, and working things out. And I did a little bio on myself for the pilot program, which I don't think ever got broadcast. It was only like a little half-hour blurb that I submitted to Bandland for them to take a look at and to showcase to other carriers that might be interested in having the show on. And so I'm not sure that it ever actually is heard, or it probably doesn't appear in the archives or anything like that. I don't believe. So you know what? I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. Well, you know, I was born in a small village on the north shores of Lake Ontario called Toronto many moons ago. And as I grew up, I had interest in music. In school, I was a theater and visual arts major. So I've got sort of a artistic and performance-related background. I had first got interested in writing songs probably when I was about, how old have I been? Like 12, 13, you know, grade 7, grade 8, something like that. Myself and a buddy who actually has gone on to work in radio right now for CBC Toronto, and he and I we started getting aspirations. Him as a keyboardist and myself as a guitar player. Can't say that we knew much about playing at that time, but we certainly had a keen interest in music, and so started trying our hands at writing some songs. And I continued doing that throughout high school, and continued learning my craft and learning my instrument. And geez, that sounds dirty, doesn't it? Let's ignore that comment. Okay. You guys made me forget where I was. No, anyway, so yeah, I kept working at high school, and then through university, where again I was doing the arts and theater and stuff. And then as I got past university and that, and started, you got to that age where, you know, had to make money, and you know, so I started working on a career, and you know, sitting down and playing guitar and writing songs really went into the background for probably 20 years. And last year, just on a whim, I had a recording that I had made of a cover song of Troopers' Santa Maria that I had just recorded on a whim, just using the video record button on my pocket camera. And I had that kicking around on my computer for a while and stuff, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to put this up on my Facebook account, you know, take a chance, just, you know, see what people think, you know, because I thought it sounded kind of decent, you know, it was what it was, you know, it's certainly when you're doing stuff off the cuff and just recording onto a pocket cam and stuff, it's not going to have that level of professionalism that some listeners desire when they're viewing music and video and stuff like that. But you know, I put out and I got a fairly positive response and stuff. And my son at the time, he had been posting stuff up to YouTube and stuff. So I thought, you know what, maybe I'll open up a YouTube account. I thought, okay, so let's go on, and I put up a YouTube account and started writing again. And for you people who are aspiring independent artists, I started out simple. You know, it's like I said, I had my pocket cam with the record function on it. So I was writing my songs and doing covers and just recording them on the camera and then downloading the file to the computer. I found when I tried using the built-in webcam on my laptop, but I found that the sound quality was really terrible, and a lot of the times it would pick up maybe my voice okay, probably a proximity thing, but the guitar was coming out more garbled and stuff. So I found by recording it onto a camera separately and then downloading it to the computer, I was getting a lot better sound. Still, not fantastic. There are, as you go along and you learn a little bit about recording your own music, you'll learn different tricks and pick up different pieces of equipment that really aid in the producing of the music and in the quality of the playback that you're getting. But I was doing that for a while, and then I decided to join one of the independent music community sites, and then another, and so on and so forth, and sort of arrived where we're at today. And like now, I'm using a device that's an interface. It's got a preamp. I plug mic and guitar directly into it. It's by Focusrite. It's called Scarlett 2i2, I think, and stuff. And what it does is that allows you to adjust levels and record your sound without any outside interference and stuff directly to your computer using various softwares that you can get for sound and audio editing on the computer, and so I'm working on that. But I'm always learning, and that is said, it's only been just over a year since I got back into it. And when I was younger, my idea of recording something that I had written was pressing the record button on a cassette recorder and recording it directly onto tape. Not like a 4-track or anything. I had friends that had 4 tracks and for recording their music, but they were a little bit further along than I was at that point. So I was just doing the thing in the bedroom at my parents' house and recording directly onto my cassette recorder and making these god-awful recordings that if I could come across now, I'd probably be pretty embarrassed about. But you know what? You got to start somewhere. And but the biggest thing, as someone who's an aspiring songwriter or singer or instrumentalist, is just jumping in. Get your feet wet. Take a chance. You know what? We're all our own biggest critic. So you should not. You may listen to your stuff. You may record it and you listen to it back and you go, and I can't. That my voice sounds awful. I can't really play. But you say you're a songwriter though too. Like sometimes maybe you're not a good performer. Maybe that is true. Maybe you're just being hard on yourself. There are two avenues, two sides to every coin. But as a songwriter, if you can write a fantastic song and maybe not be the best performer for it. So don't be afraid to get your stuff out there, because someone's going to look at it and say, "Wow, this is a really great song." And that, even though maybe you haven't been playing guitar that long, or you're not the strongest vocalist and stuff like that, I find that I've learned over the years, the trick with vocals is not to push. When you push, you tend not to stay in your own range. I'm not saying that you shouldn't try to step forward all the time. Try different songs and stuff. See what you can do. Work at it, because I believe, like anything else in life, practice makes perfect, and there's always room for improvement. Sometimes it's just a matter of training yourself. But anyhow, what we're going to do now, let's take another quick word from our sponsors, and then we'll come back and I'll talk to you some more here in the lounge.
Hey, this is Steve Watchorn, aka SWatch71, and you're listening to From the Lounge with Frank on Bandland Radio, the internet's #1 source for original, independent music. Rock on, Frank.
Mom, no, I'm busy. I'm busy. Can't you see I'm working? Can't you? Hi guys, welcome back to the lounge. I just want to make a quick comment too before we go on any further. That if you go on to bandlandrecords.net right now, the Girls of Bandland calendar for 2013 is now available for purchase. If you go on to the Girls of Bandland Records merchandise area, you'll find the calendar itself, amongst other merchandise that's also available. So do check that out. But if you're really hunting for the calendar is under the heading of art and posters. You'll find it there. And you can place your order. You can use PayPal and stuff. Or so do check that. And also too, check out Fight Another Day has their EP coming out, and you can find information at where you can download or purchase that. So check that out too. Okay, so we were talking about making music. Talking about me making music, and but you know, me making music and people making music in general. So a lot of when you get into songwriting and stuff, I found a lot comes from your influences musically and stuff like that. So, like for myself, Beatles were always my favorite band of all time and stuff like that. So I don't really think their sound comes up much in my writing. Maybe it does. I don't know, because I've certainly listened to enough of it for to have it influence how I'm writing. But other artists that really inspired me include like Bob Dylan, the Byrds, Fleetwood Mac, Elvis Costello, just to name a few. You know, I listen to lots of different music. So, but I love the sound of the '60s. Just love it. Just love it. I grew up listening to my dad's albums and stuff like that, which all 1950s, Elvis Presley, the Platters, Buddy Holly, Jerry Lee Lewis, and stuff like that. So that was like my first initial love in music. And then, of course, for my age group too, what I was hearing on the AM radio and my dad's like 1970 Datsun or whatever we had at the time and stuff like that. Music from the 60s and early 70s and stuff became my next love and stuff. And first time I really took note of the Beatles and who they were and what they were playing and stuff just blew my mind, and I was changed forever. And I do mean that. It had a profound effect on me. You know, it's like I discovered music for the first time and stuff like that. So everything's gone on from there. What I do have here today is I do have a track from Mr. Michael Adams that I'd like to play for you. You may have heard one of his tracks a couple of shows ago. I played a track by him. He's an artist from the UK. So let's take a little break and give a listen to some music. This is Michael Adams. The track's called The Secret.
Tell me the secret to your love. Tell me the secret what I'm dreaming of. Tell me the secret of your smile. I'll be needing it in a while. Tell me the way you go in the morning. Show me what you need. While you're waiting in the corner, show me where you've been. Show me where you've been. Tell me the secret. Tell me the secret. Oh, tell me the secret. Tell me the secret. Where you go? You don't know where to say. Tell me the secret of your love. Secrets will come from above. Tell me the secret. Tell me the secret of your smile. Tell me the secret of your love. Tell me the secret of your love. No surprises, none to give. Work your rises, got to win. No surprises, how you go? Gotta keep moving into the show. Tell me the secret of your love. Tell me the secret of your smile. Tell me the secret of your life. Be here for a while. Tell me the secret.
I love that track. What a great tune. Great work, Michael. Thank you for sending that in. I really appreciate that. Speaking of sending things in, now if you have any questions or comments or things you'd like to submit, you can contact me at From the Lounge, either through bandlandradio.co.nr or on the show's Facebook page, From the Lounge with Frank. Actually, I had quite an impressive message from a fan just the other day. A note they dropped me. Well, yeah, it was a note or restraining order or something like that. Anyway, the point is they took the time to write, and if you take the time to write, I'll take the time to get back to you. So anyway, looking for interesting things to do this weekend. I'm off this weekend. Thinking about going to a heavy petting zoo. No such thing. Well, there might be. I don't know. Yeah, I was going to say there's no such thing. Who knows? This is a weird, weird world. It could be. Oh, my. Well, for those of you who don't know, I'm broadcasting from Canada. That's right. And you guys can listen to the show from pretty much anywhere in the world as long as you have a computer. So, you might not know anything about Canada, which means I could tell you absolutely anything, and you probably would believe me. Or maybe you wouldn't and go, this guy's an idiot. I'm not going to believe a word he says. And I'd go, oh, you've been talking to my family, aren't you? Okay. No, okay. Anyway, okay, I want to tell you something about Canada. Cultural stereotypes versus what Canada is actually about. Okay, a lot of people in the world view Canada as a frozen tundra with igloos and sled dogs and not much of anything else. And that is absolutely true. Well, we do have beer stores, but other than that, it's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. Yes. Just the other day, I was out hunting for walruses to feed my family. And it's really hard to cook in an igloo. Of course, an igloo is made out of snow and ice, and when you light that fire, you melt your house. Not quite sure how. No way, I'm not sure how to do that. Maybe I'll cook outside. Barbecue. Barbecued walrus. I would not eat barbecued walrus. I'm making all this stuff up. Okay, well, I'm making some of it up. It's not all of it, but okay, let's think. Another cultural stereotype about Canada. All we think about is hockey. Well, that's true too. Hockey, and well, like people anywhere, we have other urges, but those mostly revolve around hockey as well. But we're an interesting people here. Yes, we are. We're a vast country, and a multicultural country. Very proud of that. We have 2 official languages here in Canada, both French and English. Well, 3 if you count gibberish. But yeah, it's we stretch from one coast of North America at the Atlantic Ocean all the way across the Pacific Ocean, from the border of the United States of America to the North Pole. We are one big kick-ass country. And yeah, and when you're that wide and have that many different cultures and that many different climates, you're bound to have a lot of diversity. And diversity is what makes us interesting. How boring would it be if everybody was absolutely the same? You know what? There's no interest in that. Diversity is what it's all about. So you know what? Don't dislike somebody because they're different. Embrace it. They're making life interesting, people. Making life interesting. Don't forget that. Anyway, we're back to talking about tunes. Okay, so earlier I was talking about some of my musical influences, and I was talking about where I came from and how I started out and where I'm at now, and so thank you for tuning in. I'll see you again later. Bye. No, actually, I have more to say than that. You guys wanted to hear more about the heavy petting zoo. I know. Well, you know what? I'll look into that. I'll do a little Googling, and I'll see if such a thing actually exists, and I'll let you know next week. Next week, when our guest will be Zoomaster. No, never mind. We won't get into that. Okay, what else am I going to tell you here? We're talking about music. I still that track by Michael Adams is still going through my head here. I love that track. Anyway. You know what? Get onto bandlandrecords.net. Go to the artists' profiles and check out some of the great music that's there. Because it's going to take me a lot of time to get all these people to participate in the show. Whereas you can go to the website, and with a click of a couple of buttons, you can be listening to great tunes by a variety of people doing a variety of different things. Diversity. That's what did I tell you? That's what it's all about. Something for everybody. You're going to find something for everybody there. Music for all tastes. Got to dig that. Okay. So nowadays the kind of music I'm working on, how would I define myself? I guess I'm getting more into the folk rock sound. Folk rock being one of my, of course, as I mentioned, one of my first loves. So I think writing style right now is starting to lean towards that. I'm finding I'm listening to a lot more of my Bob Dylan CDs, the Byrds, Roger McGuinn. Love his style. But lots of great artists. Gordon Lightfoot. If you want to go to Canadian artists, another great singer-songwriter. Great style. But there's so many. I can't even begin to mention them all. But I find that's what I'm leaning to for the most part. Not entirely. I try, because as a songwriter, I consider myself a songwriter first, a performer second. So as a songwriter, I'm working for the sake of the song, for the concept that I came up with. Not so much that I'm trying to create an album that has a certain sound to it, whereas I'm looking at the project as a whole set of songs, and that I'm trying to market it to a certain genre. No, I'm each song is a entity onto itself. And where'd you learn to talk? You talk so well. Okay. Entity onto itself, and yes, we get a little distracted here from time to time, but that's okay. We're keeping it loose. Anyway, so I work on the song on an individual basis. A lot of times, I'll be at work or driving in my car or something like that, and I get like a riff running through my head, a little bit of a tune in my head. You ever get that, or you think of a line, something poetic, or you're thinking about something you read that really hit you a certain way or something like that, or a relationship, or just something that's been caught you and moved you in a certain way and stuff, and you get like a couple of lines or going through your head, and you go, hey, you know what, that sounds like a good song. You get out your pen, you get out your paper, start jotting ideas down and stuff like that, and slowly it progresses. For me, I know a lot of people, most people from what I understand, who are instrumentalists, start with the riff. I guess in that way I'm more of a poet. I usually start with lyrics, and then as I write my music, have to adjust my lyrics. But I try, when I'm writing lyrics, I try to stick to set rhythms, like I was writing poetry or something, or verse, and so it's got an even flow that goes throughout. So then when I go later and I'm sitting with my guitar and I'm trying to work something out, it makes it a little easier on myself. Doesn't always. A lot of times, I'll come up with a good tune in my head and stuff, and I'll start flipping through pages of lyrics I've written and stuff, saying, oh, geez, what would go good with this riff, and stuff like that. And sometimes, you have to take the lyrics back to the drawing board a little bit and rework them a bit to fit the tune. But that's a lot of what the process is for me. And a lot of the times too, when I'm sitting and and trying to work out the song, I'll record the whole session of working it out. That way too, if after when I'm done, I can go back and I can listen to it and go, you know what, geez, I really like what I was doing here. I really like what I was doing there. And also too, I'm playing and putting it together for the very first time. And sometimes when you're putting something together for the first time, it doesn't stick in your head that well. So it's nice to have that point of reference to go back to and say, okay, yeah, so how did I play that? But yeah, usually by the time I finish recording my workout session, as I would call it, I've got a pretty good idea at where I'm going with the thing, and so a lot of times I don't have to go back. Depends if I run myself out of time. Sometimes you do all the time working the song out and stuff, and then you've got other commitments that you have to take care of, so you're off, and then you have to revisit the song the next day before trying to work out a recording for a decent version of it that you want to post up somewhere. But a lot of times, most of the time, I try to pick a time that I can work on a song where I know that once I've got the song worked out, I can go straight into doing takes of it. And sometimes, you know what, you can do like a dozen takes or more and stuff like that, still not have the song exactly where you want it, and in which case, sometimes it's best just to put it down and come back and revisit it the next day with fresh perspective and your voice and your hand feeling fresh, and you can get a lot better results the second day. I've found that on a couple of occasions anyway. But you know what I should do? I'm going to take another commercial break, and then when we come back, maybe we'll listen to another tune. Okay, welcome back. You're here in the lounge with Frank, and like I said before the break, why don't we listen to a tune? Well, let's see. What tune shall we play then? Don't really have a guest this week, so what I'm going to do, since I've been talking about a little bit about the music and stuff that I've been doing, and the ups and downs over the years, this is the song that officially got me back into the writing swing. It's called Lying Here Next to You. I wrote it last March, I believe. It was the first song I had written since probably 1991, and got me back in the swing. So here it is. Here's F.A. Wood, Lying Here Next to You.
Lying in bed, a million things running through my head. Can it be true? Lying here next to you, watching you gently breathe, finding it hard to believe. Can it be true? Lying here next to you. No girl like you could have done much better than me, and that I haven't always been the person that I needed to be. Sometimes wonder why you'd waste your time with me, but I don't know what I'd do without you, girl. Lying in bed, a million things running through my head. Can it be true? Lying here next to you, watching you gently breathe, finding it hard to believe. Can it be true? Lying here next to you. Sometimes lie awake at night thinking that this all is a dream, wondering in my head, are things really as they seem? Or is this just a joke that life has played on me? If it is, please let me sleep a while. Lying in bed, a million things running through my head. Can it be true? Lying here next to you, watching you gently breathe, finding it hard to believe. Can it be true? Lying here next to you. sometime down the road you don't feel the same for me. And if it's time to move along and seek another destiny, hold me one last time, if only for a while. Let me dream about you smiling, and then million things running through my head. Can it be true? Lying here next to you, watching you gently breathe, finding it hard to believe. Can it be true? Lying here next to you.
Well, there you go. That's what got me all back going again. The recording on the rough side, as I said, that's not my area of expertise, really. As I said, I started off just recording stuff on a cassette recorder, and I've evolved from there. But like I said, you gotta just if you got a good idea, you got a good tune, get it down by whatever means you have. Get it out there, get people listening to it, get some feedback on it and stuff. And that's the thing I love about doing the thing here with the independent artists. I really love that garage band sound. I love that rawness, that doing the music because they love the music kind of sound. You got a message that you want to get out there. A lot of times, all I'm doing is, other friends who are musicians, they go, oh, well, aren't you sitting down and like doing it track by track, laying down your percussions and then your guitars and working off your click tracks and adding vocals last? And I said, you know what? No, actually, I'm a campfire kind of player, a little bit of a busker. I sit there with my microphone and my guitar and press record, and I go for it. I'm essentially somewhat live every time you hear me. Somewhat. I guess. A little bit. But anyway, so yeah, that's sort of, like I said, that song got me back into the go. Maybe on another show in the near future, I'll lay down a track of the early days and from before the hiatus, and let you guys all have a listen to music that I used to write, and you can sort of form an opinion on how things evolve over time. I know they do. They do evolve. Well, of course, you improve. Anybody who works at something and practices should improve. You would think. I'm hoping I'm improving. You learn new stuff. You learn better recording methods. I know, like the stuff that I've recorded over the last month, the recordings are far superior to the recordings I was doing last year on stuff like Lying Here Next to You, as I was sort of getting back into the swing of things and learning the ropes and stuff. I said sitting there with the guitar and singing along was not an issue. Getting something appealing or with appealing sound quality that somebody else would actually want to listen to, that was a mission unto its own. Well, we're getting late in the show. What other things I want? You know what I read? Here's a little interesting tidbit, since I've been talking about Canada and stuff like that today too. That where I live in Canada, in Ontario, we have the highest amount of police speed traps, radar traps, in all of North America, statistically. Ontario. So, I kind of got worried about this, It's like, if the police, and I'm not putting the police down, God bless them for the job they're doing, and I come from a family of police officers, firefighters, ambulance attendants, nurses, soldiers. So yes, my family has served its country well. I don't know what I'm doing. Well, you know what? I'm entertaining our country. That's my job. I entertain the country. People out there are going, well, why don't you start being entertaining then? Well, you know, I'm trying. Okay. It's okay. I'm having a bit of an aneurysm right now. Okay, but yes, I got a little concerned that if we have all these police officers sitting in cruisers watching for traffic violators, does that also mean that Ontario statistically has the highest amount of violent crimes and stuff because the police aren't actually out there in high numbers protecting the people from other people because they're too busy protecting the people from themselves? But from what I understand, that's not the case. So that's a load off my mind. Good job, guys. Keep it up. Okay, you got the thumbs up there. Of course, this is radio. You couldn't see that I gave the thumbs up, but I gave you a hearty thumbs up there. And that I know my cousin will really appreciate that too, because he's a police officer. So we all appreciate the job you're doing, man. Okay, now what are we going to do? Well, you know what? I've pretty much done my closing thoughts and everything. You know what? I'm going to end the show with a final song by lounge favorite Steve Watchorn. Song that track I haven't played for you guys yet, so do enjoy. And please tune in again next week and give us a listen. Hopefully we have somebody other than myself to hear. We had to rewind that bit. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty there. Yeah, hopefully you tune in again next week, and our special guests will be somebody else. Oh, thank you for all the extra information. Glad I could be of service. Okay. Well, once again, do check out the artists on bandland.net. Join up yourself. Get your music out there. Join up. Post up something. Let us hear what you got. Dying to hear what you got. And while you're on the site, you might as well check out merchandise from the Girls of Bandland. Their calendar now available. And check out for the EP release by Fight Another Day. Here's Steve Watchorn. See you later, folks. Peace. Be good to each other.
I see you in here every night, I see you sitting there, lady. All making eyes over a glass of champagne. Your prospects all walk away, and you're too self-centered to see how it's all your fault, you're by your lonesome again. You think you got it together, you think you're under control, you think you're standing on Everest when you're just digging a bigger hole than you can crawl out of, finding bigger trouble every new day with a bigger heartbreak always in your future. Cause you know what they say in Vino Veritas, lady, you'll only say what you mean. That little glass gonna get ya, whether you're trashy or a homecoming queen. It's really funny how the worm can go and turn on you, lady. How very cruel the hand of fortune can be. The thought I might take you out to you was something so undesirable. Now here you are, down just a few stools from me. I see you checking your mirror, I see the look in your eyes. I've seen it happen before now, so it shouldn't be a big surprise that I can tell what's coming, and no big surprise that I can see the way, and it's no big surprise you're heading for a meltdown. It's like they always say, in vino veritas, lady, and you've had too much tonight. You think you're Helen of Athens, but I can tell you nothing's coming out right. Time after time, you're gonna find your way to saying what you're really thinking. Time after time, what you want runs away, far away, 'cause you can't stop drinking. Time after time, this time's no different. Raise a glass to your future. Raise a glass to your future. Yes, to the rest of your life. To the rest of your life. Keep yourself covered in darkness so you can't see the light. It's what they say in vino veritas, lady. In vino veritas is what they say. Yeah, here's to you, lady. Think you're so great. Just because you're leaving with Bradley Cooper and Ryan Gosling. It's what they say. But you know, I can get any actress in Hollywood anytime I want. Just don't want to right now. It's what they say. In fact, what I want is another drink. Hey, no scotch on the rocks here, please. Wait, what am I doing? I don't even like alcohol. Why am I here? I'm going to get a Slurpee. In vino veritas is what they say.